I'm Hypnos, and like every quiet night, I have a story to share. You may subscribe for the night ahead. Tonight's tale is about Nikola Tesla. On a July night in 1856, in the small village of Smiljan, Croatia, a storm shook the earth. Lightning split the sky. Thunder rolled over the hills, and rain fell in heavy sheets. Inside a modest house, a child was born. The midwife, glancing at the storm, whispered, "A child born in such a storm belongs to darkness." But the mother, calm despite the night's fury, replied, "No, he will be a child of light." Thus began the life of Nikola Tesla. The storm quieted as if in respect, leaving behind a soft drizzle and the faint glow of a lamp flickering inside the house. Tesla's father, Milutin, was a priest, disciplined and deeply learned, able to recite long text from memory. His mother, Duka, was inventive though unschooled, fashioning household tools with her own clever hands. From his father, Nikola would inherit a love of language and order. From his mother, the instincts to invent, and from the storm, perhaps his restlessness. As a child, Nikola wandered the fields, his eyes drawn to details others passed over. He studied the play of water in streams, the flicker of light on stones, sparks that leaped from stroking a cat's fur. He built small contraptions, simple wheels and toys, and dreamed of larger things. Already, he claimed he could build machines in his mind, testing them in imagination before ever touching wood or metal. Life in Smiljan followed the cycle of the seasons. Spring brought rushing streams and blossoms. Summer hummed with insect and warm winds. Autumn meant harvest, grapes crushed for wine, and fields turning gold. Winter slowed life, with snow on the hills, long nights by the hearth, and stories told by lamplight. In all of it, Nikola found lessons. The turning of seasons, the hum of cicadas, the glow of fire, all were part of a great rhythm he felt in his bones. Tesla's boyhood was filled with wonder and struggle. His imagination was powerful, sometimes overwhelming. He suffered from fevers and strange visions, flashes of light that appeared before his eyes, sounds others did not hear. But his curiosity never faded. He read voraciously, memorizing books, reciting poetry and devouring works of science. He built small inventions, windmills, water wheels, toys that spun and turned. Once he devised a wheel without paddles, powered by a stream. He set it in the water and watched it spin smoothly, delighted by the secret he felt he had uncovered. Even ordinary life became an experiment. He studied the way birds flew, the way people walked, the way shadows shifted through the day. The village festivals, the ringing of bells, the laughter of children, all became part of his wide observation. His mind never stilled. Family evenings were quiet. His father read. His mother worked at the loom or stirred pots at the hearth. Shadows danced on the walls while Nikola sat apart, sketching, dreaming, staring into the fire as though it contained unseen current. But his boyhood also carried sorrow. He lost an older brother in a riding accident, a grief that lingered in silence around the household. It deepened his solitude, pressing him further into imagination and study. As a young man, Tesla attended the Polytechnic School in Graz. The lecture halls smelled of chalk and ink, the air filled with the scratcher pens and the drone of professors' voices. But Tesla's mind raced ahead. He imagined engines not yet built, turbines that moved like flowing rivers, motors running on currents that pulsed back and forth like waves. He worked furiously, often without sleep, consuming books and building calculations in his head. Professors admired his memory and precision, but worried at his intensity. He collapsed more than once from exhaustion, and strange flashes of light continued to trouble him. Yet he clung to his vision. The idea of alternating current reversing direction in rhythmic pulses, had taken root in his mind. Others doubted it, believing only in direct current, a single push forward. But Nikola saw the rhythm of waves, the back and forth of nature, and knew it could be harnessed. He carried this vision quietly, like a flame no one else believed in. In 1884, Tesla left Europe for America. He boarded a ship with little more than a letter of introduction, a few coins, and his untested ideas. The journey was long, the sea restless. Waves pounded the hull, winds tore at the sails, and nights stretched endlessly with stars wheeling overhead. Tesla walked the deck, staring at the horizon, his mind turning over currents, sparks, and possibilities. When he arrived in New York, the city roared around him. Horses clattered on cobblestones. Street vendors called out. Steam rose from grates, and the harbor bristled with ships. The smell of coal, smoke, and salt water filled the air. Compared to Smiljan, it was a world alive with movement. Tesla soon met Thomas Edison, already famous for his lamp and inventions. Edison favored direct current, steady and simple. Tesla proposed his alternating current, certain it could travel farther and power more. Edison dismissed him and Tesla left. Alone, he walked the street at night, the lamp faintly glowing. In his mind, though, he saw a city blazing with light, every corner illuminated by the current he imagined. With new backers, Tesla opened his own laboratories. Inside, strange machines grew, coils of copper wound tightly, wires stretched across rooms, glass tubes glowed faintly. The air carried the sharp scent of ozone. When Tesla powered his coils, arcs of violet lightning leaped into the air. Sparks crackled like swarms of insects. Lamps glowed without wires. Current passed harmlessly through his body as he held bulbs that lit in his hands. Visitors gasped, some frightened, others in awe. Tesla seemed a magician, but behind the spectacle were careful notes, diagrams, and measurement. He pursued not wonder for its own sake, but clarity. In 1893, at the World's Fair in Chicago, Tesla's alternating current lit the grounds. Thousands of lamps shone steady and white, more brilliant than the glow of gazuk or candle. People walked beneath towers and domes blazing with light, marveling at night turned to day. For the first time, electricity filled an entire city space, not in patches, but everywhere at once. Soon after, at Niagara Falls, Tesla's designs harnessed the roaring river. The falls, which had thundered endlessly for ages, now drove turbines, turning water into power. The boy who once set wheels in a village stream had fulfilled his dream on a grand scale. Tesla dreamed even larger. On Long Island, he built Wardenclyffe Tower, a great structure meant to send power wirelessly across the earth. He imagined lamps glowing in distant villages, ships guided by invisible signals, voices carried across oceans. The tower rose, stark against the sky, its skeleton pointing upward with promise. But money faltered. Investors grew doubtful. The tower stood unfinished, then silent, and in time was dismantled. Yet in Tesla's mind, it remained. He could still see it, glowing, humming, alive. To him, imagination was as real as steel. In his later years, Tesla lived in New York hotels. He followed strange routines, walking in exact numbers of steps, avoiding perils, holding to habits no one else understood. Yet his imagination never tired. His notebooks filled with designs for flying machines, energy tapped from the earth, visions of peace through technology. He fed pigeons daily in Bryant Park. He spoke gently to them, especially to one white pigeon he loved dearly. He said her eyes carried light that gave him comfort. In her presence, he found companionship that human company no longer provided. Though the world largely forgot him, his inventions thrived. Factories turned with his motors. Cities glowed with alternating current. Machines ran silently with his designs. The world hummed with his unseen influence. On January 7, 1943, Nikola Tesla passed away in his hotel room. He was alone, but outside, the city blazed with his light. The storm-born child had become, as his mother foretold, a child of light. This was Hypnos. Another story has been told, and now it's time to rest. Good night.